But we begin on this Friday morning with the extortion plot targeting Late Show host David Letterman and his confession that he had sex with female staffers. NBC's Michael Oku has details.
I have a little story that I would like to tell you and the home viewers as well. Do you feel like a story?
The late-night audience was primed. At first, clearly amused, but then not quite sure where the story was going.
And I get into my car, and in the back seat of my car is a package I don't recognize and have never seen before. And there's a letter in the package, and it says that I know that you do some terrible, terrible things. And I can prove that you do these terrible things. And sure enough, contained in the package was stuff to prove that I do terrible things.
You heard a lot of laughter, but that was a lot of nervous laughter.
A couple minutes in, perhaps as it was dawning on some folks, this was no comedy bit, a bombshell.
There seems to be quite a lot of terrible stuff he knows about. And he's going to put it into a movie unless I give him some money.
Letterman said the man confronted him, demanding $2 million, or he would reveal some potentially embarrassing information about the comic's sex life at CBS.
And the creepy stuff was that I have had sex with women who work for me on this show. Now, my response to that is, yes, I have. I have had sex with women who work on this show. And would it be embarrassing if it were made public? Perhaps it would. Perhaps it would. Especially for the women.
Jokes aside, Letterman said he went to authorities who had him deliver a bogus check to the suspect, who CBSNews.com identified as Robert Joe Halderman.
We do know that he's a producer on the news magazine 48 Hours, which airs on the same network, CBS. So he runs in the same circles, obviously, as Dave and Dave's staff.
It's unclear when Letterman had the affairs with his staffers. Letterman married Regina Lasco, his girlfriend of 23 years, in March. The couple have a 5-year-old son, Harry. In 2004, a house painter was nabbed for plotting to kidnap the comedian's son. Before that, a stalker was repeatedly arrested for routinely breaking into Letterman's estate before she committed suicide in 1998. Through the years, the 62-year-old comedian has made jokes about it all. But last night, Letterman ended with a serious note of concern that perhaps this might be different.
I feel like I need to protect these people. I need to certainly protect my family. I need to protect myself, hope to protect my job, and the friends, everybody that has been very supportive through this. And I don't plan to say much more about this on this particular topic. So thank you for letting me bend your ears.
For today, Michael Oku, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Dan Abrams is NBC's chief legal analyst. Dan, good morning to you.
Brother.
So Letterman talks about finding this package in the car. He opens it up and he says, indeed, this guy seems to have a lot of terrible stuff that he knows about him. What would be in that package?
Well, we don't know, but it's clear that there was evidence, right? We know that it was something that made it very clear to David Letterman that this guy could essentially prove that he's done terrible things, and the allegation is that that's why he's giving it to Letterman, to make sure he knows, I can release this, I can embarrass you, I can hurt you, and that's going to be a crucial question legally, right, which is the intent. Meaning, in these types of cases, very often you see a defense which says, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean to suggest this was a quid pro quo. I just wanted him to know what I had. I just wanted to work with him on the project. Whatever it is, those are the sorts of defenses we see in cases like this.
Well, is that why they set up the sting?
Absolutely. Look, and that's why I think they wanted to make sure that there was this fake money that was actually
the $2 million check.
That's right.
Check.
Because then you don't face the problem later of saying, I didn't actually want the money. I just meant it theoretically, but now the fact that there was actually this phony check written and that he actually received it, now the authorities can say there was no ambiguity here. It's clear he wanted money for this, and he was paid what he thought was money.
The fact that Letterman was part of the sting, is that unusual?
No, extortion and these types of alleged crimes are very personal to the individual involved. And so you kind of need them to play along. And look, they very quickly went to the DA's office here. I mean, Letterman goes to his lawyer. They figure out what they think is happening, very quickly bring in the DA, and this all moves very quickly from there.
Was he smart to talk about it last night? He admits on air, yes, I have had sex with women on the show, and he also says, I'm trying to protect my job. What are the legal ramifications in terms of his job?
Well, see, it's interesting because he's got two things to think about. Number one is the legal issues, and number two is the fact that he's a public figure and that his reputation is very valuable to him. So I think that he wanted to get out there as much as possible, and I think that's what people, when there is an effort to extort them, try to do. They say, look, here's everything that this person knows about me. Here's what happened. So now this person doesn't have anything on me anymore. But as you point out, look, does this open him up to possible lawsuits in the future, etc.? Who knows? Who knows how these women feel about the relationships with David Letterman? There's no sense, there's no allegation that anyone's upset at Letterman. So at this point, it doesn't seem it's opening them up to anything, but anytime you get into these sort of sticky issues and you have to discuss these kind of uncomfortable matters, there's always in the back of your mind these days the questions of not just how is this going to affect me personally,
sure,
not just how is it going to affect my family, but what could happen legally.
And the story is just evolving.
Yeah.
Dan Abrams, thank you so much.